It's one of the largest fully diversified media groups in the world, not only the country but in the world. And when we say the Life Interactive arm, we have all the online portals as part of our portfolio, which means timesjobs.com, magicbricks.com, Simply Marry, any requirement that the consumer has, we fulfill it online. And technology is the backbone to what we do. What we are privy to is a bird's eye view of the industry. MagicBricks does not deal with any one city. We deal with the whole, a pan-India perspective and pan-India consumers, developers, brokers, the entire real estate industry. We capture visible consumer nuances and we use the data that we get on our site to create market pointers and capture the industry and consumer sentiment. And in that process, become a knowledge partner to the housing and real estate industry. In Asia Construct, what we're trying to do is, can our data give a boost to housing and real estate industry? How can we collaborate with you to understand the trends, try and figure out where the mismatches are, and help you fix those? Together, can we enhance the ecosystem? So when we ran this survey on our developer database, we found that 67, actually we went to Times Jobs and all the construction industry employers that were on the site, we polled them. And this is a result of the poll. 67% of employers said that there's a skills shortage in the managerial cadres. Here, when we talk about online, it is the managerial cadres, the worker force does not come in on the website. We found that the crisis was at the mid-management and the supervisory levels, and fewer companies prefer hiring fresh graduates because they bring fewer and fewer skills that are required on the site. They are trained, they know their technical subjects, but when you take them to the site, the training process is much longer. And the skills shortage that they identified was resource management, problem solving, project management, team management, communication, technical knowledge, risk management, negotiation, a combination of soft and hard skills. And clearly these are deterrents to effective project management. The current crisis, the problem is of retaining the existing talent. This is what a bulk of our employers said. There's an aging workforce which is working in that sector. There's a talent crunch at the junior level. Combined, it is you have increased operating costs, you miss project deadlines, you have increased workload for staff, you outsource the workforce, you lose business, and 39% said the workforce will remain about the same. 32% said the workforce will decrease. About 29% said the workforce will increase in the next year. But whatever the outcome, without a technology infusion, a crisis is imminent. Because your workforce is aging, the youngsters are not able to fulfill that role, and there is a crisis on the cards. So what can be the solution? You actually need application-based education through increased industry and academia alliances. This is not what we are saying, this is what our survey said. 35% felt that you need industry and academia alliances. The emphasis is on internship programs. While you're studying, can you be trained? Apprenticeship. Very, very critical to bridge this gap. PG certified training courses. After you graduate, can you go for certified courses in specific fields of construction industry? And contemporizing the university courses. This was a much smaller requirement than all the others, but I think somewhere we need to fix how that can meet the challenges. When we went to Mumbai, Niranjan Hiranandani, one of the doyens of the Indian real estate industry, said there was a time when if I had to employ 1,000 laborers, I had 5,000 applicants. Today, if he needs 1,000, he gets 200 applicants. The labor crunch is so dramatic right now. Rajnikant Ajmera, another doyen of the Mumbai industry. Labor availability is increasingly scarce, especially because of large-scale projects like Commonwealth Games and Narega. Narega, what really happens is that you have job opportunities in the hinterland. The workforce does not come into the towns where the large projects are happening, and every developer that we've polled across the country has said that labor crunch is killing project deadlines. Mr. Ajmera said that television exposure leads to higher expectation among the labor force. They don't want to come and live like rats in the city. They would rather work on Narega projects in their own place of stay, and then live a better lifestyle. The construction industry is the last choice for trained manpower, which was one of the biggest things that most developers are saying. Technologically, we are behind the world. Material, the strike on sand, steel prices going up, cement manufacturers creating artificial supply scarcity, all these result in delays. And somewhere, even when we have policy initiatives like incentives to developers when you have sustainable practices, somewhere it's not well thought out. Like Ramani Shastri of Bangalore said, nobody has given a thought to the capital expenditure. All developers are using solar panels to get that incentive. But are you really able to fix the challenges? Sushil Mantri said that it's a criminal waste to use solar panels for heating. You can actually use it for lighting, especially at night. But when you use it for lighting, you don't get the incentive that you get. You get the incentive for heating. So you see, somewhere, even from the policy perspective, you need to think through an incentive. You need to think through a policy if it has to be a change maker in the market. About 60% developers said that there's an acute shortage of technology in the country, and most vote for large-scale development as the ideal format. Two unrelated points that I'm making, but look at if integrated townships or special residential zones is the answer, somewhere the need for technology is even more if you're going to go into large formats. We haven't gone into the large formats yet, but all developers feel that integrated townships and special residential zones are the way forward. So what kind of technology? Why do they go easy on technology? Because one, technology is not available. Two, the manpower is not trained to cope with that technology. There is a lack of expertise, prohibitive costs, and no economies of scale. If you want technology to be adopted widely, you'll have to go for economies of scale. And why do we not have the economies? Because land is fragmented. We have smaller phases being launched with fewer units. The developers have weak access to capital. There's material supply is a distressing point. Labor shortages are there. Slow sanctions are a big problem. So how do you sort out the problem? The bulk of the people said training the workforce. Training is capacity building, and training is one of the biggest challenges that the Indian housing industry is facing when they move towards technology. The second is knowledge transfer. Can you transfer that knowledge to the sites and see that there is a technology infusion there? A very small percentage has said that academic alliances. Obviously, the fix is not in the universities. The fix is at the sites itself. So how do you meet this consumer? We went back to the consumer and said, what do you understand by technology? What kind of technology are you looking at? The consumer wants residential districts of a scale, maintenance, and lifestyle. This is what consumers are looking for. They would like to live in residential districts. They don't want to wait for more than a year from booking when they look for a house. They are looking at multi-story buildings. They want power and water efficient devices. Effective waste recycling. Waste is not in my backyard, is one common theme across the country, whether it's in public or private housing complexes. So the need of the hour is technology infusion. All this requires, if you have large districts, that is large scale, large format development. If you want faster delivery, you need technology there. Multi-story buildings and speedy delivery, again, technology infusion. Water, power, waste recycling, all that is technology intensive. So which of the following technologies is important? We asked the consumer. Small percentages said water harvesting, waste management, power saving, but as sustainable practices, all these are important to them. And the consumer today is not willing to compromise on any of these, and these are all technologies that need to be planned at the planning stage, not retrofitted later. So the writing is on the wall. We need apprenticeship credits at the student level. We need to create training opportunities for construction services like operating machinery, plumbing, carpentry, and offer it as a career path. World over, plumbers, carpenters are highly paid professionals, very, very respected professionals. In our country, they normally are semi-trained, badly trained, or not trained at all. And most of their knowledge comes from experimenting. Like Mr. Suresh always says, they're experimenting on your projects. They're learning, they make their mistakes on your projects. And then you have to speed up construction processes with technology infusion, because that is what developers need, that is what the consumer needs. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Madam Guru, for